of us have been able to. Kindly, if you're stuck, just send a note in the QA and Emily is gonna help you. So now we know what the shell is, and like you can see, for me, my shell shows my username and the name of my computer. And well, when you open your file system, then kind of the beginning of your terminal is, or when you see okay, well, the best way to show this is to show you from a file system, and I'm gonna try and share a file system with you. Just a short minute here. I think we can all see, can we all see something like files and home? Okay, I'm not sure if I'm showing it. Okay, I think I'm showing a different screen. Okay, let me try share again. Okay, I think we can all see a terminal and a file system now. Is that correct? Yeah. So what we are seeing here now is that I'm in my home directory where I have the downloads, I have the documents, the desktop, and all other folders that I could have. And now on my terminal, I also have that. And if we want to know where we are at, the way we can see that I'm in my home folder, then we can type a command called pwd. And we see I'm at home, Rehema, which means that I'm at the very top of my users folder. So pwd means print working directory. If we want to check what is in this home folder, we can type a command called ls. ls lists all the items in my current working directory. Okay. Okay, I see someone is asking how we can open a terminal. So for Windows people, I depending on your OS, for Windows people, you should have installed Git Bash, and you can access it from your start menu, and then you'll see Git Bash if you've installed it, and then you'll be able to open it. If you're using a Linux machine, you should have you should be able to open it by either using Control T, and then your terminal is gonna show up. Okay, I guess the person who was asking about the opening of the terminal is not sorted. Okay, sure. So, okay, we've said that ls shows us all the files that are in our current working directory, and which can be equated to what we are seeing in our user interface. So in this workshop, we are going to be using the files that we have now and the files that we've installed or we have downloaded, and I'm gonna ask you to move into the folder where you extracted them, and we had extracted them into our desktop. And the command to move into the folder that you extracted is cd. cd means change directory. So we're gonna type in our terminal cd desktop, and then the forward slash in Linux or backslash in Windows is to show the demarcations between our folders. And then after that, we can type shell lesson. Okay, it says no such file or directory. So we're gonna try this again and see whether we have shell lesson. But to see, okay, we can just first change into desktop and see if we have shell lesson in desktop. And then we can type ls. And from ls, we can see we have shell lesson, only that I had typed it the wrong way. Another way to see your files in a directory and maybe show what type of files they are is through typing ls-f. So now I can see that my shell lesson is a folder and it has a / that shows that it is a folder. If you have something that has a star on it, like I have a few files with a star on it, it means that that file is an executable. Okay, so now we can then move into shell lesson. Shell lesson data. So now we've been able to get into shell lesson data. And then we're gonna try and see what is in the shell lesson. And to do that, we type ls. Are we all together? Okay, I see a few thumbs up. Okay, so I guess that's a signal too.
Uh, I'm so sorry, can I please
Oh,
ask?
someone is saying so many arguments. Okay, we've moved, so far we've worked with two commands, which is pwd, which means print working directory.
Rehema,
And we are, yes?
we've got some people who are still trying to get to where you are.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can just go back or I can open my terminal again and then we can move on together. Okay. Mm. Can we all see my terminal now? Yeah, so this is for the people that were left behind. So upon opening my terminal, it automatically takes me to the home directory, which is where all your files kind of are. Okay. So uh, I'm gonna try and give you an analogy where usually in your computer or your file system, you have your root directory. The root directory is where everything is, like your software, the users, the executables for your OS. And then from the root directory, there's usually a folder called users. And then in the users, if there are many people that are logged into that computer or many users that use the computer, then you can have a user called Rehema, you can have a user called Pandal, you can have a user called Emily. So when you move into the folder for that user, then you're in the home directory for that user. And when you open your terminal as the user that you are, then automatically it takes you to the home directory. So if you want to know where you are in the file system from the command line, then you type a command called pwd. Have you all typed pwd? Okay. Okay, so we've all typed pwd and we can see that our current working directory is home, yourself, or home, whatever username you're using. If your username is user, you're gonna see user. If your username is your personal name, you're gonna see your personal name. And also please note that depending on the OS system, whatever you're seeing in mine could be different to yours. So just bear in mind with that. And in a bash or bash-like terminal, you know that you're ready to type a command when you see the dollar sign, or some other OSs might have a different sign, and then you have this thing, this white bar that is there, and then you know that you're ready to type a command. So we want to know what is in our home directory, and to know that we type ls. ls is the command to list your items in your current directory. When we type enter, when we click enter, then we see all the files that are there. And we can see we have a desktop, we have the downloads, and all other files that anyone could have. You might want to know how, or the type of files that are there, because it's when you open from your graphical user interface, you see that this is a folder, this is a file, or this is a script. So to know the type of file that you have there, you can just type ls-f. And then now you can see that your folders are defined with a / on them. And you know that there are folders and there are other files in your current working directory. So the files that we downloaded, we agreed that we are going to extract them into the desktop. So we are going to change our current working directory using a command called cd and then desktop. Now we are in the desktop. We want to see what is in the desktop. And to do that, we type ls. Then to see the type of files, then we can add f on the command. And we see that now we have all other sort of files. If you have a file that is an executable, it has a star on it, then the folders have the / on them. So now we're gonna move into shell lesson. Sorry, we're gonna move into shell lesson data. Are we all in shell lesson data?
No.
Please also note that Bash is very case sensitive. Ensure that whatever is in capital letter is in capital letter, whatever is in small letter is in small letters. Okay. There's also a way to understand these commands. If you want to know more options with ls, you can say ls 2 dashes and then help, and you're gonna see all the other options that you can type with ls. In some other cases, there are some programs that come with their manual page installed on them. So you can say man ls or manual page ls, but well, the command is man ls, and it also gives you all the options. And to navigate the man page, you can use the upward or downward arrow, and then you can see all the commands, all the options that come with ls. And then to exit the manual page, then you press quit or Q. Are we all together?
Sorry.
Yes.
It's when I put the ls instruction, it says no such file or directory, but I did save it on my desktop.
When you did what?
When I put the ls instruction and write shell lesson data, it says no such file
Mhm.
or directory.
Okay, can you just type ls and see whether there's are you in your desktop folder?
I'm on the terminal.
Okay, you're on the terminal. Kindly type pwd. What is the output for your pwd? Okay. Um,
Oh, sorry.
I'm
I,
not
I
sure
got
whether,
late.
sorry?
Yeah, it tells me my computer name after typing pwd.
Um, it says,
It gives C users and my work personal number.
your work personal number.
Yeah, like my computer name. It's my work personal number.
Oh, okay. So that means that you're in your home directory.
Okay.
So so you can cd desktop.
Must I type that?
Yes, you have to type cd desktop on your terminal.
Yes.
And then after that, are you has the command run successfully?
When I write cd desktop, it says
Mhm.
bash cd desktop, no such file or directory.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
gonna
you type it
jump
like
in here. I think,
okay.
are some of you using your computers from the university? Because some of them will be set up that you can't put stuff straight onto the desktop. I see there's some places where there's no desktop folder allowed. You're going to have to probably then follow the same instructions, but then do it in something like the documents folder instead. So if you
Oh,
don't
okay.
have the permission to change your desktop folder because you're working on a university computer, like one of the lab computers, then you will have to then do it in a different folder. So if you can't access desktop because of that, then just put it to documents then. Are you
Okay,
understanding,
thank you.
or do I need to explain more?
Hi, Rema
So
and Emily. I have a question.
Mhm.
Is it important that we put it on desktop or we can work on downloads as well? Because I think from the chat, what I'm seeing is people download the files and then when they go on desktop and press ls, they do not see them because
See
they're
it?
not there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so because
Yeah.
it's the thing is that we sort of want to keep everyone on the same page. So if it's possible, we would like everyone to make sure that so you can literally use your file system and manually move the files across from your downloads to the desktop. Like you should see a little icon come up on your desktop when you've moved the files. They should appear. Yes. Uh, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Hi, it's
Hi,
Rahim.
Regina.
Hi. So
Rahima.
I'm using a Windows PC and I encountered the same problem as most people did when I tried to CD desktop or CD documents. So I had to use the MNT command to mount the thing. I mean, I just did a quick Google search. So to mount whatever I needed, and then I was able to access desktop downloads, everything. So I don't know if that's
Ah,
maybe the same issue that people are having. So the
that
image,
might be, yeah.
yeah. Um,
If
Well, thank you, Regina, for that. Mhm.
Thanks. If you're still having problems, please, we need to see if you could paste what you see with ls and print working directory, and then I can try and help you from there, because we sort of need to see what you're seeing, and then we can try and help you from that.
Okay. Okay, the people on Windows can try and do what Regina has pasted in the chats, and please let us know if you are able to move into the shell lesson data using that. Um, Please give us a thumbs up when you're able to get to where we currently are. Okay, sure. So now we are in our shell lesson. Kindly mute your audios for those who haven't muted themselves, because I can hear an echo somewhere. Okay, so now we are in the shell lesson data. We can try and see what is in the shell lesson data again by typing ls. By this time now, I guess we've understood that ls is to list whatever we have there. So we can move back or forward through within our folders, and one of the command to move forward or backwards is to move a folder up is cd dot dot, which the dot dot signifies a folder up or a directory up. And when we type cd dot dot, we go back to desktop. Okay. So then we can go back to shell lesson data, and then we can move on from there. Okay. So there's other options such as if you wanna see all the things that are within your folder including the hidden ones, we can type ls dash f and then dash a. And now we can see we have the folders that we can see from our user interface. And then there is this dot dot folder that is hidden. And that is akin to what we just did here, or a folder up. And we also have another folder that has one dot, which means our current working directory. So yeah. And if you want to see the full path to where we are, we can still type pwd, and we see that we're starting from home, or for the ones that have user in the Windows, you'll have something different, and then into the shell lesson data. Okay, so I'm gonna try and explain the general syntax of commands within Bash. And the $sign here is the prompt. Our command ls, that is the command, and then -f, that is the option. If you want to check from where we are, whatever is in the exercise folder, then we would add so we said that the dot means the current working directory. So then we would add a dot and then a / and then exercise data. So now we can see what is in the exercise data. So the syntax, as we said, is the command. This is your prompt. Then ls is the command. -f is the option. And this is the argument, or where you wanna do your command in, or where the place or the directory you wanna execute your command in. And in this case, we've specified our argument to be exercise data. Okay, are we all good? Okay, I think we can then continue. So now we're gonna move into.
I'm not understanding the question. Now, have you downloaded the folder from the website too?
Sorry. I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay.
I did try moving my files to documents, but now when I press ls, it just says too many arguments. No, when I press ls, it says my music, add my pictures, add my videos.
So you are in your home directory. Can you type pwd and see what the output is?
pwd.
Okay.
It says Sithole Edzamajobe, MINGW64-documents.
Okay. Did you move your extracted files into documents?
Yes.
And when you type ls, you can see it.
When I type ls,
When you type ls, can you see shell lesson data?
no, it just says my music, my pictures, my videos.
Same.
But when I open my documents, I can see the file.
Yes, same.
Wow. Okay. So there is a hack that Radima had shared. Can
Okay.
you try and maybe type, okay, I'll type on my terminal what she did.
Okay, please.
Oh, sorry. So she pasted whatever I'm typing right now. Users. I think here should be your username. And then you said you moved your documents into your shell lesson data into documents.
Yes, but I've moved it back to desktop.
Okay, then you can type desktop
Okay.
and then try and see if you can find the shell lesson data.
Um,
Have you been able to get yourself to your shell lesson data?
No, I'm still trying to. I just had a problem with viewing my screen. I'm typing the command out now. Okay, now I think I lost it. CD/forward MNT/forward C/forward users.
Okay, CD, MNT,
Yes.
and then okay, let me just check it again in the charts. No, my chat has disappeared. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I can see my chats. Oh, okay, sure, I can see them now. So it's CD, MNT or mount, then users, then your username, and then desktop, then the shell lesson, if that is where you moved it into.
I must write my username, not username.
What?
Okay, never mind, I got you.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Can I please ask, I'm at the stage where the other participant is at. I have the same question she was
Mm,
asking now. Do I type username or do
mm.
I type my username?
Your username. The username
Okay.
is your username. Yeah. Okay, well, there at this part that starts from M and T is actually okay, there are two types of, I'm just gonna leave this here. There are two types of paths in the command line. There is the absolute path and there is the relative path. So the one that the Windows people are trying to use is the absolute path, and it starts right from the root. It usually starts with a forward slash with nothing before it, and then it moves on to the place where you want to move into. This is the absolute path. Now, the relative path is relative to where you are at. So if I type cd dot dot, then this is the relative path to where I am at. It will take me to desktop. If I type cd shell lesson, this is still the relative path because I am moving from the desktop into shell lesson and not from home, my username, desktop, shell lesson data. So what I'm trying to tell them to do is to use their absolute path to try and move into where we all are, to where we all are.
Sorry.
Please let me know.
After username/forward, it's D and then
Mhm.
what else? I can't see properly.
Okay. So it's uh I couldn't type the whole of it because well this is not my path. I'm just trying to replicate what
Oh, okay.
Rahima had done. Username, then desktop, then shell lesson. Shell lesson data.
And when I do that, it says no such file or directory.
Well, okay. Alternatively, you can go to where those files are and then right click into it. And then if you have a terminal, if you have Git Bash installed, then it's gonna ask you whether you wanna open a Git Bash terminal.
Yes, so I have the option here that says open in terminal.
Yeah, do that. Are you in?
Yes.
Sure. So you are in shell lesson folder.
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's
Sorry.
However, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
However, the terminal that it
Mhm.
opened, it
Mhm.
didn't open it on Git Bash. It opened it on Windows PowerShell.
Okay.
Should I close my Git Bash and then reopen it?
Okay. When you're on, I don't know if Windows Power. Okay, you can type pwd from the terminal that it has opened and then paste it on your Git bash, and then hopefully it will work like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I copy from path
Yeah, from the power, you're calling it Windows Power what?
PowerShell? After I type
Okay,
after I type
pwd.
yes. So I did type it and then it's showing me a path. Do I copy just
Okay.
from yes.
Yes, you can copy it now into your Git bash.
Sorry.
Are you there now?
Yes, it's
It's
me. Oh, okay.
no, you can continue.
It still says too many arguments.
Too many arguments. Do you have spaces in your, do you have spaces in the name of your folder?
Based on the name of my folder. Yes.
Okay, I think if you have spaces, then that's the issue.
Okay.
So, well, as a general way of doing things from the command line, the best way to name your folders, and this is way into our lesson, but we're just gonna talk about it here. For good names for files and directories, you shouldn't use spaces. So if you can separate the names with using the a dash or an underscore. You can use a dash or an underscore. So if it
Okay.
has spaces, then it won't work. If
Okay.
you want to stick to spaces, then you can separate. You can say you can use the quotes shell lesson data. But this is not advised because now it restricts how it restricts your working. Because when you type a command ls this, it's either gonna say it cannot access this, or it's gonna treat each of these as an option or as a command. So the best way to do it is to have dashes on it,
Okay.
separating the letters. So maybe you can go back to your file system and rename it with the dashes. If it has spaces in between, then it won't work.
Yes, I renamed it.
Okay, sure. I think we've spent quite a lot of time on this,
Um,
and we can just
I can't copy the command from Windows PowerShell to
okay.
Git.
You'll have to type it. I think you'll have to type it in that
Oh,
case.
can I please ask, do I type? So right now let me just, so it shows, so the path, right, that it showed, do I
Mhm.
type from capital letter C? Um, so on Windows, it's not using the forward slash, it's using opposite of the forward
Mm.
slash. Do I type it exactly like that?
Exactly as it is.
Okay. Um, do I start with CD mount or do I just type the path exactly as it is?
Uh, uh, type the path exactly as it is in your PowerShell.
Okay.
Yeah. So as she does that, we might want to display the sizes of our files and directories alongside their names. And okay, so we can try and type a command called ls-s and then exercise data, which is in our shell lesson. So when I type ls-s, it shows us the sizes of whatever is in the exercise data directory. If we want to sort this information, then we change ls-s and then use a capital S. It sorts them, but it doesn't show us it sorts them alphabetically, but it doesn't show us the sizes. So what I'm trying to say here is the different commands or the different options for our commands, they can either be caps or small letters, and each of them have a meaning. Also note that there is usually spaces between the command and its option, because if we type ls and s, then the command will not be found. So note that in between the commands and the options, there is a space in between them. Okay. So I'm not sure if our friend has been able to move into shell lesson data so that we can move forward.
So I did type it as it is, and it's saying
Mhm.
bash syntax error near unexpected token new line.
Yo, now I'm not sure how to help there. We can just use the PowerShell. Hopefully the PowerShell has all the commands that we will be using for our lesson.
Okay.
Though for tomorrow, when we are using Git bash, you will have to be able, when we are learning Git, you will have to, we will have to figure out how to make things work for you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Okay, so we can then move into the exercise data. We can then move into, we are in shell lesson data, so we can then move into exercise. Okay, it says no such file or directory. So one thing I'd like to introduce when we are doing this is there is a lot of typing that goes on when we are trying to move between commands. And there's a shortcut that we can use to easily maneuver. So if we type the first few letters of exercise data and press tab, then it auto completes it for us because it's a folder within that directory. So then I don't have to make the same mistake of mistyping or having typos, and then it tells me no such file or directory. So what I did here is I typed cd. Okay, I can just go back and show it to you again. So I typed cd and then the first few letters of exercise data, and then I pressed tab and it auto-completed for me. And then now I can move into the exercise data. Okay, so in the exercise data, I'd like for us to, okay, we can just first see what is in this directory. And we see we have alkanes directory, we have animals, we have creatures, and we have writing. I want us to move into the writing directory. So we can type cd writing. Are we all in the writing directory? Okay, sure.
No,
Okay, what's
it says cannot find path
okay?
because
Which is your current working directory where you are?
sorry,
You can just type pwd and where you are, see where you are at.
it shows documents, shell data, lesson.
Okay, if you're in shell data, type ls and see if you have exercise data in within shell data.
Do I type? Sorry,
Yeah, type ls within
and
shell lesson and see if you have exercise data.
it shows me shell lesson data and mancos X.
Do you have exercise data within your shell lesson data?
Yes, I do have exercise data.
Okay, so you can cd into exercise data, just type cd, ex and then tab. Okay, I can just move with you. So you can say cd, ex, tab. Are you there? Do you have that in your output?
Yes, but it when I say tab, it doesn't auto type for me.
Yeah, it's probably an issue with the PowerShell or not. I'm not sure. You can just type exercise data, but make sure that you have all the spelling correct. And then when you enter, you get into exercise data. Then now we're gonna move into writing. So in writing, we can just try and see what is there. And we see we have two files named haiku.txt and littlewomen.txt. So within this directory, we wanna create. Are we all in writing? Okay. So within this folder, we wanna create a directory called thesis, and the command to create a directory is called mkdir. So we're gonna type mkdir and then thesis. Enter. Okay, so we need to check whether the thesis directory has been created within the writing directory. And to do that, we type again ls-f. And now we see that in addition to haiku.txt and littlewomen.txt, we have a new folder that has been created called thesis. Okay, so if we ls, do we all have that? Hopefully we've all been able to create a thesis directory within writing. Okay. So if we ls-f in
Rehema,
thesis,
Rehema, you're
yeah.
going to have to slow down. There are so many people who are still not there. Please, can you explain how the file paths work again? Because I think many people are getting stuck knowing where they are in their files. Um, So can you explain again with the tilde and like the file path system so that they know where they are?
Okay, so the tilde here shows that you're in your home directory. And then now each folder within the path is separated by a /. So I can just type cd, and then cd in itself will take me to my home directory. So I want to go into the desktop. So I'm gonna try and share something here. Content only. I'm not sure whether I'm sharing the right thing. Okay, this is my home directory. Can we all see my home directory? I'm not sure what I'm sharing right now. Okay, we can see
Yes.
my home directory here. So if I wanna move into a folder called desktop, seems as though I can share both of them. Share. I'm stuck. Let me just stop share and then share again. So okay, this is perfect. So I am in my home directory from the shell. Just gonna put that on top. So this is my home directory, and this is akin to what we are seeing in my terminal. I'm just gonna clear my output here so that we all see what I'm talking about. And then I want to move into this folder called desktop. So I'm gonna type cd desktop. Now I'm in my desktop. And if I type ls in the terminal, I'm gonna see all these files that are in desktop that are the same as what I'm seeing here. So all of this is all of this. And the files that we're gonna be using for our lesson is the shell lesson data. So from desktop, you see home desktop shell lesson, then I'm gonna move into shell lesson. Shell lesson data. And if I type ls, I have exercise data and not Pacific Gaia, which is what we are seeing from my file system, which is my graphical user interface. Are we all together up until there? Okay, so I guess we are all in one page now. So we're gonna move into exercise data. Exercise data. And when you type ls in exercise data, we see alkanes, animal counts, creatures, writing folders, which are all folders, and then a file called numbers.txt, which is the same as what has been typed or put in my output, in my standard output when I type ls. Okay? Yeah. So what we did is then we moved into writing folder. And as I mentioned before, to just minimize all the typing, we can just type the first few letters of what you want to do or where you want to move into, and then press tab and it's going to autocomplete for you. So now we can move into the writing folder. And the exercise we just previously did is that we created a new folder called thesis. And the command that we used to create the folder called thesis was mk-thesis. Are the people who are left behind together with us now? I'm not sure. Are we all together now? Okay, I see in the chat some people still haven't been able to download the files. And only just a few people that have been able to do whatever we have been doing so far. But I'm just gonna paste the link to downloading the files in the chat and in the QA. Okay, so we were able to create a folder called thesis within writing. And because it's already existing and because we had already done this exercise, then it's gonna give me an error that mkdir cannot create directory called thesis because it already exists. But if you hadn't run the command as we had, then you're going to have a successful, it's gonna run successfully. Okay, so we're gonna move forward. So mkdir is not limited to just creating a single directory at a time. So we can create a directory we can create directories in other places where we are still in writing. So we're gonna type mkdir, please type with me, and then P, and the P option allows mkdir to create a directory with nested subdirectories in a single operation. So we're gonna type mkdir-p and then 2 dots to mean a folder up, and then we're gonna type project and then data, and then we're gonna create another directory within project, and we're gonna call it project results, and then press enter. So if we ls-f project, we will see that there are 2 new folders that have been created. Okay, I'm gonna minimize this now. Have you all been able to do that? Okay, I only see 1 thumbs up. Okay, I see someone saying, how do they move from? Are we all together in where we are at now? have you been able to make a directory in project called data and results? Okay, I see a few of us have been able to do that. So we're gonna move into thesis and then type something in there. So there are a few text editors that are used to type in the command line, and one of the most used one is Nano. So we can just, okay, we've moved into thesis by typing CD thesis and then enter, and then we can just type Nano and then draft.txt. So this takes us into a window that looks as you can see. And at the bottom of this page, we can see the various ways if you want to get help, if you want to write out whatever you've written, if you want to exit, if you want to read the file. But because this is a new file, then we need to type in something. So maybe we can type, what do we write? And we can say just anything. So we need to save whatever we've written. And to save whatever we've written, we type Control O. And then it's gonna ask you file name to write, draft.txt, which we already called it out as we were opening Nano, and then we press enter. Have we all been able to write something into Nano? Okay. So now I need to exit Nano. And to do that, we just press Control X and it exits. Okay, I see Gemba is raising up his hand. Yes, Gemba, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Good morning.
Good
Yes.
morning.
So I've noticed that I think in the chats I tried several times to mention that I'm not following what you are doing. So I think I'm struggling as much as you are mentioning some of these, but I'm stuck in terms of the folders that you are creating. It seemingly I am on the, as you were mentioning, these files that were downloaded. So then they are on my desktop, but seemingly everything that you are saying, it appears there. I cannot. It's like all the commands that you are mentioning there. When I'm trying to enter them in my here, so it's like I'm stuck. So it's giving me it's mentioned this thing of a path, so that it can't find the path and something like that. I'm not sure whether is there any way you can assist me, but I think it's in the past 10 minutes. So I was not following all the things that you were mentioning.
Okay, so which OS are you using? You're using Windows?
It's Windows.
Were you able to open a terminal, a Git bash terminal?
Yes, the terminal is opened, and it's like according to the path, it's APS users desktop shell lesson data. But yeah, so seemingly all the commands that I'm putting there, they are, it's like this one always comes up. As you were mentioning that we must type that CD desktop. So in my case, it was complaining about the path, because seemingly this one, it's more like a default. Even I try to clear everything, but it comes back.
What comes back?
So the command that says users desktop shell lesson data.
Oh, so you typed, tell me what you typed. What did you type in your terminal?
So so you see on top there, I think it's still appearing there where you say we must type CD desktop. So then you said, I think the output is supposed to say desktop, something like that. But in my case, it
Yeah.
doesn't say that. It look like,
What does it say?
so, okay, let me type it again. So it will complain about the path. Let me type it now. Yes. So it says cannot find the path.
Okay, kindly type PWD on your desktop, on your terminal, sorry.
Okay, so it gives me a path users desktop share lesson plan, and below that it says PS users desktop share lesson plan. So yeah, there is a C. The other one is having a P, a PS, and I think the top one, this users desktop share lesson plan. Yeah.
So it's saying it's paste in the chat paste in the chat your output.
Oh, okay.
But from the way he's saying it, it seems like he's already in less than data and he's looking to go to desktop. So there's no desktop within shell lesson.
Oh, he wants to move into desktop again.
From his PWD, he says that it shows desktop shell lesson data, right? Is that right, Kumbuzo?
Okay. Can you repeat that part?
What when you type PWD, what do you get?
I'm getting a path saying C users desktop share
Yes, can you
lesson
say the
plan.
path? So
Can
you
I?
are already in shell lesson.
Yes. So that's what it says. So as much as
Yes, so you
the
cannot
presenter was
CD
trying,
into desktop.
I cannot see the CD.
You cannot see
You
the into
cannot
desktop
change into the
if you're
desktop
not.
again because it's not there. You're already inside it. You went into desktop, you went into shell lesson. You're already in this folder or directory, right?
So even if, okay, so that was my point. Even if I try to go out from that one to leave that one, so seemingly
Okay.
I am unable, not unless maybe there is no need of doing that. But I was seeing the presenter, the way how she was doing it, it appears as if in my case, so this one it's a default part of which I don't know how to move from that one or change it.
Can you just CD and then enter?
I'm getting a PS users user desktop share lesson data.
Can you CD into desktop now? What?
Can I CD to desktop?
Yeah, try CD into
and
What
right
desktop
happens when
now.
you
and desktop. So if I say CD
CD
desktop,
and then enter.
CD and enter,
Right.
I'm getting
PWD.
CWD. So it says the term CWD is not recognized.
PWD.
So it gives me the path for share lesson plan, desktop share lesson plan, lesson data.
PWD says you're already in shell lesson.
It appears like that, yeah.
Okay, if you're in shell lesson, can you see
LS.
exercise data or LS and see if you have exercise data in shell lesson?
So the LS, it gives me folders that are in the shell lesson plan, which is shell lesson data, thesis, and Mac OS X.
What?
You're getting what?
So it gives me the folders that are in the shell lesson data.
And you have shell lesson again, and then Mac OS.
And thesis, yeah.
Okay, just
It
move.
is.
Still within there, you can move into shell lesson. Move again into shell lesson. So you can just CD shell lesson again. Because probably how you unzipped your folder, it unzipped shell lesson into shell lesson. So you might need to move into shell lesson twice. So CD shell lesson again.
So the shell lesson must have a dash in between.
Yeah, there are dashes in between shell lesson.
So it says the set location positional parameter cannot be found that accepts argument.
Okay, type CD and then shell and then press tab and tell me what you see. CD, then
Shell and
shell,
path. Okay.
and then tab. The tab on the top left of your keyboard.
The top left. Oh, okay. So let me do it again. CD.
Is it auto-completing for you?
It gives me errors now. It looked like I'm not too sure whether it's a
Okay, you
computer
can just
problem.
say CD then shell lesson and shell lesson. If you ls and see that they shell lesson and some other things, just CD into shell lesson again.
CD and shell lesson.
Yes, with dashes in between.
Okay. It talks about the set location, positional parameter cannot be found that accepts the argument. So I think the issue is about that dash that I'm putting because it talk about the argument of a dash. So I think I'm putting it
Are
wrong.
you
Whether
putting
I must not,
spaces
I think I
between the
put spaces
dashes?
in between.
Please
So
don't
it
put
must have no
spaces in
space.
between because shell
Oh, okay.
lesson is the
Okay.
name of the folder.
Oh, yes. No, I see. But it still complains. It still complains about that argument of this dash. So even if I don't
Did
put a
you put,
space,
okay, are you typing, let me do as I'm doing, say CD shell lesson dash, okay, there are no spaces. It's CD space shell lesson data.
data. Oh, okay. No, I'm getting it. Okay, it gives me PS users desktop shell lesson data shell lesson.
So you've been able to get into shell lesson. Okay,
Yes.
type PWD and see if, tell me what you're seeing from that.
So I'm getting a path that sent me to desktop shell lesson data shell lesson data.
Okay, then move into exercise. So type CD exercise. Exercise data, sorry.
So I think that folder maybe was not created because it says cannot find the path to that one because it does not exist.
Okay, type ls and tell me what is in your shell lesson data.
So it's excess data is there. Oh, which means I wrote a wrong spelling. Yeah, so I wrote a wrong spelling there because it says it's there.
Okay.
Okay, CD exercise data. Okay, so then it says, yeah, I got a response saying exercise data, which means I'm on exercise data now.
Yes. So you
Yeah.
can get into CD writing.
Oh no, I see now. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
So I think I'm getting it now. That's how to move to a specific folder or to a specific file.
Yes. So when you CD, you can ls to see whether where you want to move into is present in your current directory. So as good practice, once you, I'm just gonna go a part back. So where you are at, you're in exercise data, right?
Yes.
So you can type ls and see whether you have certain folders. So in my exercise data, I have a folder called alkanes, I have a folder called alkanes, a folder called animal counts, a folder called creatures, then a file called numbers, another folder called project, and another one called writing. Whatever you're
Yes,
seeing in
I
my
have.
screen could be.
Yes,
So if you want to
I'm
know
having
whether
that
it's
as well.
folders,
Yeah.
then you can type, okay, sure.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to know whether it's folders, then you can type ls-f and see the / is going to define the folders for you. And what we just did is we moved into writing.
Hi.
Yes.
I was able to get into the shell lesson data, but I can't open the exercise data. It just when I press ls, it says documents,
Mhm.
exercise
Mhm.
data, then it says
Mhm.
not specific diary or something like that.
No specific diary. Oh,
Not
not specific diary.
specific diary.
Okay, so yeah, that's okay. So then from shell lesson data, you can say CD exercise data. You have
Mhm.
exercise data when you type ls, right?
Yes, I can see exercise data.
So you can CD into
Okay,
exercise data.
perfect.
You
It's fine now.
can type
Thank
this
you.
command that I highlighted. Okay,
Thank you.
sure. You're welcome. Uh, okay, so initially the folder thesis was not present. And how we made it is we typed the command mkdir thesis. Okay, and that's how we were able to get the folder thesis into our writing folder. Sorry. And we also mentioned that mkdir is not limited to just making one folder or one directory. We can say mkdir-p to make it create directories within subdirectories, and then after that we can type the path, and this tells us or tells mkdir to make a directory, a folder up, not within our current directory. If it was within a current directory, we would type dot and then the /. But we wanted it to create in a folder that is a directory app called project. And then within project, it should create a directory called data. And then within project also, it should also create another subdirectory called results. And then after that, we wanted to see whether these subdirectories had been created within project. And if project was not existent before, it would also create project, but well, so we typed ls-f and then dot project, and we saw that data and results were created. Because we probably wanted in this, okay, this data is data from some marine biologist who had collected stuff and she wanted to analyze it. So that's why we created this folder as hypothetical folders for the data and the results. And then while she was analyzing, she wanted to write her thesis. So in the writing folder, that's where we created the directory thesis and we moved into thesis. Are we together? Any questions thus far? Okay, sure. And then in the thesis directory, we opened a file called draft.txt, and we used a tool called Nano to open draft.txt. Because I had already created this and written a few lines there, like what do we write, and then just anything, mine has something. In case you had been left behind, yours is gonna be blank. But we can just type something else into the file, and then we're gonna see how to save a file in Nano and then exit Nano. So we can just type, today is a sunny day. A good time to get work done. So we've written something into our file. The way to save whatever we've written it is Control O. And then the Nano is gonna ask you name to write file, and then the name of the file that the name that we had specified when we opened Nano, and then we say, or we press enter. And it's gonna say at the bottom here, Nano wrote 4 lines into the file. So now we want to exit Nano. To exit Nano, we press Control and then X, and it exits Nano. Has everybody been able to write a text file called draft?
Hi,
No, not yet.
hi.
Okay. Yes.
I remember we were left behind, so we just accessed our
Okay.
exercise data. So I don't know what are we supposed to do next.
Okay, from exercise data, you can type CD, writing.
CD.
Okay, I'm just gonna go back into exercise data to catch up with you. And how I did that is I typed CD, a folder up, and a folder up again, which will take me from thesis to writing, and from writing to exercise data. Okay,
Sorry.
so the people that are in exercise data, when you type
Yeah.
ls, you're gonna have alkanes, animals, creatures, numbers.txt, project, and writing in that folder.
Yes.
So then you can move into writing by typing CD writing. And if you type PWD, you're gonna see your
CD.
full path.
Writing, yes.
So within writing, we created a directory called thesis. And to do that, we type mkdir thesis. Mkdir is the command for creating directories, and it basically stands for make directory or make new directory. So you can kindly type mkdir thesis. Have we been able to create that?
Yes.
Okay, so now if we ls-f, we can see that on top of these 2 files that are already existent there, we have a thesis folder.
Yes.
Okay, so assuming you have data and results that you want to create or make or write in a different folder, because you can't mix where you're writing and where your data is, we made additional folders in a directory that is different from where we were writing. And this directory, we wanted it to be a few directories up, or we wanted it to be in the exercise data. So we type mkdir
Yeah.
-p and then project, and then data, and then another path specification, and we also want to make another folder called results within project. Okay, kindly let me know if you all ran this command successfully. Okay. So now we want to check that we were able to create data and results within project. And how we did that is that we typed ls-f and then project and pressed enter. And we see data and results have been created. Okay, so now we can go on into thesis and maybe type something. Okay, so within thesis, we wanted to create a draft file. That's when we used a text editor called Nano, and we typed in a file name called draft.txt. And then we pressed enter. Okay.
Yes.
So we wrote a few things within that file. And after writing something in there, we wanted to save whatever was in that file. So to save it, we press Control and then O, and it asks you the name to write into is draft.txt as we had specified, and then we press enter. And it will tell you how many lines you've written into the file. Then after that, now we want to exit the text editor. And to exit, then we press Control X. And all these options are actually at the bottom here to tell you whatever you want to do. If you want to justify your text, if you want to cut and paste, if you want to replace, if you want to undo, redo, and all. But now we want to exit. So we press Control X and we are able to exit Nano.
Okay, thank you very much.
So our friend Gemma is saying the term Nano is not recognized. There's a likelihood Nano isn't installed into your computer. You're not limited to using Nano. There are other text editors such as VS Code. I personally like VS Code. There is other editors such as Notepad that comes with Windows. And there are other ones like Vim. There are other ones like gedit. Depending on what you might be comfortable with, then you can use it. You don't have to have Nano as your default text editor within the command line. Okay. So now we've been able to use Nano. So the next thing is we want to know how to move files. So how do we move files? So we can just move a step back or a folder up and then learn how to move files. So to move a folder up as we have been doing, I typed cd ... and then back. Or you can actually even type cd and just the dots themselves without the /. Just using the / to let you know that it's a folder. The / mainly defines a folder. So we're gonna move into our writing folder and try and move draft.txt into another file. So the command to move is mv. MV or moving, okay, MV can also be used to rename. So we want to rename or move the draft.txt that we've written into thesis into another file. So we're going to type mv thesis and then draft .txt, and we are moving it into another file called thesis, or that is within thesis, and we're gonna call this file quotes.txt. Do we all have this command on our terminals?
Rehema, I think we need to stop
Yes.
here because it's meant to be the break now, and I think there's still quite a few people who aren't up to speed yet.
Okay.
So there's still some issues. So I'm thinking maybe for those who have managed to get up to this point, they can take a break and then either we keep going with people who are still having issues at certain places, or we can all have a break. I don't know. Maybe we can ask what people want to do. But yeah, we're now in the break time.
Okay. Okay. Well, we can go for a 10 minutes break and then we're gonna come back. Oh, okay. It's actually not a 10. We can go for a maybe 30 minutes break.
Yeah, I'll be here. If you have more issues, maybe we can also now talk on here rather than trying to uh, work in the chat. So yeah, if you want, I'll be here for the 30 minutes. So yeah.
Hi, Emily.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I was able to write a nano and also exit, but then I'm having issues with moving files and so on.
Okay. So are you on Windows or
Yes,
Mac? Okay,
Windows.
Windows. Okay. Are you using the Git terminal, or are you using the one which is the Windows subsystem for Linux,
I'm
WSL
using
or
the
Ming?
Git terminal.
The Git terminal. Okay.
Yeah.
So with moving the files, which part is the confusing thing? Is it that you can't see the list of files that you downloaded, or is it that you're getting confused where you are in the directory, basically, when trying to use the terminal, or something else?
Okay, right now I'm at OneDrive. I'm under thesis.
You're under OneDrive.
No, OneDrive desktop shall listen data, exercise data, writing, thesis,
Okay, so what do
Uh,
we have within the thesis directory?
ls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it just shows thesis.
Okay, you just have there's
Mm.
nothing in there.
So if you go change directory to thesis, so CD thesis,
Yeah.
can you do that? Can you get into it?
No, says no such file or directory.
Okay, had you created the directory thesis?
Yes, I did create it because I can see it here.
Okay, so you're in the directory, or you what is the path that is coming out when you type pwd?
PWD. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it says desktop shell lesson data, exercise data,
Mm-hmm.
writing, thesis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're in thesis,
Yes,
but you didn't write into thesis you don't have a file called draft in thesis.
yes,
Okay. Did you open Nano?
yes, I did open Nano.
Okay, and you used this command that I have highlighted here.
Yes, I did. do that, and I did save. And I wrote one line, and then I saved.
And then how did you save it?
Okay, I don't recall, but I just followed what
Okay,
you
we
did.
can just do it together. We can just do it together. It's okay. So you can type nano again and then draft.txt. You can just do it with me.
Okay.
Have you typed? Do you have such a window?
Yes, it's open now.
Okay, so we can just write a few lines. Okay, you've written a few lines,
I just
literally.
said today is a sunny day.
Okay, it's cool. It's cool. Even that is okay. So we want to save whatever is in there. So to save it, you press Control and then O.
Control O.
And then it's gonna give you something at the bottom there that says name to write, then draft.txt. Do you have that?
Yes.
Then press Enter.
Yes.
And then now you wanna exit because you saved. So you can say Control and then X. Control X.
Okay.
It
Yes.
gets you out of that.
Yes, I'm out.
So type ls again and see if you have draft.txt within your thingy.
No, I don't have.
It,
Wait.
wow.
It's just this is the last one I have.
You what?
Okay, after I pressed ls, it said draft.txt text.
Yes, yes. So you have the
Okay.
file within your thesis folder.
Okay.
Okay, so since we are on a break, we're just gonna go and okay, I see Asenati has a raised hand. Yes, Asenati, you can unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So I finally found my files and how to access it. I did go and I opened shell list data, I opened exercise data and writing. I wanted to find out from this point, how do I move forward with everyone? Because I'm seeing CD pieces, that's where I'm stuck now. Like the line that I'm at now is exercise data writing.
Okay, so can you see the into thesis? Are you already in thesis?
No, 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 no. I don't know how we got to thesis. So I'd like to get help from the point of opening exercise data and writing. What do I do from there?
Okay, so you're in writing.
Yes.
So, okay, since thesis wasn't originally there, so we made it. We created a new directory called thesis
Mm-hmm.
using this command that I'm highlighting. You can see it
Yes.
in the terminal. Yes, you can
Okay, so
kindly type my mk dot thesis.
do I put space between mkdat and thesis?
Yeah, you have a space in between mk dot and thesis.
Okay. Okay, I've done that. After doing that, what do I do?
Okay, after doing that, you can cd into thesis.
I can what?
You move into thesis by typing cd thesis.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes, I'm in there now.
Then you can open, we created a new file called draft.txt within thesis using a tool called Nano. So Nano
Okay.
is a text editor. So we typed Nano draft.txt.
Okay. Sorry, I'm also just taking notes. So for creating a new directory, is it always the same command, mkdir?
Yes. For creating a new directory, use the command mkdir. And also, it's not restricted to just one directory. You can create many directories within directories, and how we demonstrated that is we typed mkdir-p to make subdirectories, and then we specified where we want it to be using two dots, which mean a directory apps, which means it's not going to be created in the writing directory, but in the exercise directory. I can just move back for you to see. So we created I don't think project was there initially. So we created this command created a directory called project and a subdirectory within it called data. And also, it also created results within the project directory.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, just to make sure that I follow. So mkdir is to create new directories, and we can create multiple or like subdirectories by putting the two dots.
Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be wherever you want to create it, because we are assuming that the person who owns this data, they want to analyze it and write a report on it. So the reason why we use the two dots is so that we don't create the project data and project results in our writing directory. So we wanted the
Okay.
writing directory to be specifically for writing, and then the project for the analysis work. That's why we specified outside the two dots. It means it's gonna go back, because if we are in writing, then we want it to be writing. Then if we move a directory up from writing, you see now when I type cd dot dot, it takes me back to where I was. Okay.
Okay, I see. Okay.
And then
All
now
right.
that's when we created project data and project results.
Okay, great. All right, please just
Yeah.
hold for me.
So yeah.
I've
So
also
then
shared this lesson that Rahim has been following in the chat. So we follow what the carpentries have created. So you can also look at the commands and lists of commands that have been run on that lesson as well. And that's for everyone. You can follow along as well on that part.
Sorry, Emily, you said where can I follow on that?
I have sent it in the chat. There is a link to the lesson. It's part 3, which is called Working with Files and Directories. And all of these steps with making new directories, with the project data and everything should be there.
Okay, I'm just
Step by
trying to
step as well.
I'm just trying to
So
find it in the chat. There's quite a lot.
it's
Would
right
you
at the
mind?
bottom.
Oh, okay, wait, hold on.
I'll send again.
Thank you. I'm not. Oh, found it. Thank you.
okay. Thank you, Emily.
Okay. So on the link you shared, with okay, working with files, creating directives. Okay, got it. Thank you so much. All right. So from the part of creating the thesis folder, we were still on the part of nano draft. Can we please continue from that point?
Okay, so you are at nano draft. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I typed in So from
You
the back,
typed in nanodraft.
okay. So from nanodraft, do I also type in .txt?
Yes, nanodraft.txt.
Okay, yes, I'm with you now.
You have a screen that is similar to mine right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can type anything within it.
Okay, let me say masters. Okay.
Yeah, so we want to save whatever is inside, whatever we have typed in. And to do that, we say Control O. And then it's going to ask you the name to write the draft at the
Wait,
bottom.
sorry, I say control.
Okay, so it's going to tell you the file name that you either opened, or if you hadn't opened with the file name, then you would have been required to type it. But because you already have a file name, then we press enter.
Okay,
And
wait,
then it's
sorry.
gonna tell you it has.
You lost me a bit. I'm so sorry. So after typing anything in there, what do I press?
Then you save whatever you've written by pressing Control Control O.
Okay, Control O.
Yeah, and then you're gonna get a message at the bottom with file name to write, and then the file
Yes.
name you specify pending nano. Then you can press enter.
Okay, what do I write for the file name? Or I leave it as
The
draft?
file name is already specified, so you can just press enter.
Okay, all right. I'm with you now.
Okay, then now we can exit nano. We can exit nano by pressing Control X.
Control X.
Control X.
Okay.
Then it exits.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Okay, so the next thing we're gonna learn about the next thing from after the break. Anybody else that
Okay.
needs help?
Okay, sorry. Before we go, what time is our break ending?
The break is ending at 11:15.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
I'm sorry, just to confirm. So if I leave now, I need to come back by 11:15.
Yes.
Okay. I see, before we go, I see that after the, let me see. Okay, so I see the MKDAR for the project data. Should I also run that line before the next lesson?
Sorry?
Should I also run the multiple directories line for the next lesson? The one mkdar-p dot project data.
We actually want, that was just a demonstration
Oh,
for how to do multiple directories, but we won't go back into that again.
okay. No problem. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Right. Is there anyone who still has questions that they would like answered?
Hi, yes, it's
Hi.
me.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's my computer, but I'm still stuck at the first one. I'm not able to see the shell lesson data folder at all, and I've tried to move it from desktop to downloads to documents, but it just tells me like no such file or directory.
Okay. Are you on Windows?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What are you using the Git terminal?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'm just wondering because sometimes it makes a separate set of folders. It's not always pointing straight to your normal documents folder.
Mm.
So the thing is, can you send me a picture of what it looks like on the chat so I can see? The other thing is where you currently are in the terminal, can you send the can you type in pwd so I can see where you currently are in your directory, and then also ls, so list all the things that it can see, and then we can go from there.
Okay. Let me start with the picture.
Yeah,
Mm.
thank you.
Yeah, that's the picture. And then you said on the terminal I should type pwd.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, when I type pwd, it comes with C /C user / my work number, my employee number. I think that's the name of this PC.
Okay, sorry, I've just suddenly lost everything because more people have sent stuff. Okay, so I'm looking at the picture you sent. So as you can see, in that you've got your orange, what we call it, tilde, you know, that like squiggly thing.
Yes.
Okay, so you're in home according to this terminal. And then the only thing it gives you is, okay, so you tried listing what was in documents, which was just music, picture, folder my music, folder my pictures, and folder my videos. So, uh, okay, so what did you say did it give with when you did PWD?
It just gave C like /C
Yes.
/users
Oh,
slash
there. Okay. And then okay, so if you go into your um, file explorer,
yes.
uh, okay. So you need to get into the C drive, users, and then that 01489, whatever that is. So you need to get to that path. Are you able to
Wait.
see? So if you um so in the C drive, so okay, so let me get to my Windows machine. Okay. So go to this PC and then click on your local disk, which should be the C drive. Then find the folder users.
Okay.
Click on users, the folder.
Yes.
Okay, now do you have that number there? 014,
Yes.
whatever that is. Okay, go into there.
Yes.
Okay, now you're in home. That's where your terminal is pointing to. So what you can currently see there is what you are seeing. So do you have documents? Is documents one of
Yes.
the things there?
Yes.
Okay, go into documents there.
It's empty. It says folder
Right,
empty.
now that's where you must put your files.
Okay. So I can copy it.
Yes, copy your folder with your shell lesson data and paste it into that document.
Okay.
Okay,
I've copied. Yes.
so now go back to the terminal.
Yeah.
Okay, are you in home?
Yes.
Okay, now you need to get into that documents folder. So go CD for change directory. So CD space
Yes.
documents, however it's spelt, however you've
Yes.
named it. Okay, enter.
Yeah.
Okay, now type ls.
LS.
What does it show you?
Oh yeah, it does show the underscore MACOSX and shell lessons data.
Okay, so now you want to go into the directory shell lessons data, so you need to use the command cd again, and then the name of
Yes.
the folder you want to go into. So type cd shell lessons data.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, and so now you should be in that folder. So now if you want to see what's inside, you type ls again to list. So it lists
Mhm.
all the files. What does it now have like exercise data and all of that again?
Yeah, exercise data, North Pacific
Yeah,
GYRE.
great.
Okay.
So that's now where we were. Then you can start doing you can go into exercise data with CD and then basically you've now got to the point where you can follow along with the commands that we are running.
So I said CD and write exercise data, ne?
Yes, the name of the folder that you want to go into. Yes.
So when you're entering a folder, you always use CD.
So CD means change directory. So what it's saying is I want to now go inside the folder name that you've given it. So that's why I keep asking you to do the list ls, because
Mm.
if you see that folder there when you say ls, it means that you're currently in a folder and there's other folders inside of that. So it can see the folder that you're going to ask it to move into. So when you go cd, it says move, like change directory to
Yes.
the new one that you're gonna go into. So exercise data here. But if you didn't see exercise data there in the folder and you went CD exercise data, it will tell you it cannot find that folder because it doesn't know what you're talking about. It has to, you have to be in the place in that path where it can
Yes.
see the thing that you're asking to go into.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks. So now I'm where everyone is at.
Pretty much. They did a couple commands where they do make directory, so and they tried using nano, but I think we might be covering some of that again after the break anyway.
Okay.
But you should
No,
be able
thanks.
to follow along from there.
Sure.
Okay,
Perfect. Thank you so much.
so Yondella, are you still stuck?
Yes.
Okay. At which point, let me go and look at the thing that you are. Okay, so you're in users Yondella. Okay. So if you do ls, what do you see? Wait, are you using PowerShell?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be difficult because it doesn't use it doesn't use the same commands necessarily as what Bash normally does. So, do you have any Bash thing installed, like the Git one or Windows subsystem for Linux or anything like that?
No, I don't have.
Okay. Okay, we'll try with PowerShell, but you're gonna have to for tomorrow download the Git version because you won't be able to run any of the stuff tomorrow on the one you're currently using. Okay, so I would okay, so ls. What happens when you run ls? To list.
Okay, I guess our break is over. Kindly, Ondela, there is a what now? There is a link that has been sent to install Git Bash for Windows, or the initial email that was sent. You can kindly install it so that you can probably follow. If you're able to catch up with us today, well and good, but it will be important for you to install Git Bash for tomorrow's lessons. So now we're gonna move into moving files and directories. And because already our terminal is crowded, I'm gonna clear everything that I have typed for now. I hope everybody is well caught up, or at least most of us. So the command to clear the terminal is clear. And okay, Prosper is raising a hand. Yes, Prosper.
Yes, good morning and sorry for interrupting. Unfortunately, I'm able to access the files, but currently in my terminal, when I print the working directory, I mean my documents, I can CD into my documents, but I don't have the files and I will need help to get it. If you could help.
You don't have what files? Do you have?
The files.
Okay, you moved your files into documents, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, when you ls into and you have a terminal open.
Yes, I'm using Gitbatch.
Okay, so well, how can you ls into the directory you are in and then tell me whether you have shared lesson data?
Well, when I ls into my documents, it's basically the folders and files that I have in my documents. Okay, I have thesis.
Okay, can
Okay,
you?
I think that
Do
yes,
you
I think
have
I'll
shell
just yes, I've ls into my documents directly.
Do you have shell lesson among the files that have been listed?
Pardon me.
Okay. When you ls, I'm gonna
Yes.
move into shell lesson or into.
Okay.
Well, for my case, I have my shell lesson in desktop. When you ls, maybe type ls-f. Do you have something like this? well, among other files, do you have something that is named or a folder that is named shell lesson data with a / on it?
No, I don't.
Okay, so when you go into your file system, can you locate shell lesson data as one of the folders among the files?
Just a moment to do that.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, is shell lesson in your downloads? Do you have it in your downloads? Prosper, are you still with us? Okay, I don't think I see Prosper. We can continue. So the next thing we're going to be learning now is how to move files and directory. And I'd have us move into shell lesson data exercise, and then into the writing directory. So if we have been following, we should be having a folder or we should be having a folder called thesis. And in thesis, we should be having a txt file called draft.txt. So we can kindly tell us this is draft.txt to confirm that it is there. Kindly give me a thumbs up to make sure that your ls thesis draft.txt outputs this is draft.txt. Do we all have draft.txt within thesis? Okay.
Sorry, mine says no such file or directory found.
Are you in writing? Are you in the writing directory from your terminal? Okay, kindly, which directory are you in? You can type pwd and know and tell me what is printed out.
It's in the writing thesis directory.
Type ls in the writing directory and tell me what is printed out.
It says draft.
Okay, so in writing, what do you have in writing directory?
All right, please hold. How do I check?
Okay, how do you check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can just type in the terminal ls, like I have typed.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have haiku.txt, littlewomen.txt, and thesis?
Wait, sorry. So how do I go back? So the command on mine right now, it's shell lesson data, exercise data, writing, and thesis.
Okay. So we want to see whether we have something within thesis. So we're going to type ls thesis, and then we want to check whether we have draft in it. So we can type thesis.draft. This is /draft.txt, and then enter to see whether we have that file within thesis. Or alternatively, we can cd into thesis and then type ls. Either of this, if you type ls, this is /draft.txt, it's gonna print the path for thesis and whatever is inside, well, and draft if it's in thesis. If you don't have anything in thesis, it's not gonna give you this. It's just gonna give you thesis. Alternatively, we can cd into thesis and then ls and see what is in thesis.
So when I say ls for thesis, it shows me draft.txt.
Exactly. So that's what we are working with.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, so we can just go back. If you're in thesis, you can just go back a directory up by typing cd dot or with a / or not, however you feel comfortable. So now we are back into the writing directory. We want to move, or we want to rename draft.txt into a file called quotes.txt. Okay, so the command to do that, to move or to rename, is mv, which basically means move. And then we're gonna type in thesis draft.txt, and then thesis quotes.txt. Do we all have that typed in on our terminal? Okay, hopefully we all have that typed onto our terminal, and then I'm gonna press enter. So we wanna check what is in thesis again. So we can type ls thesis. So ls thesis now doesn't have draft, it has quotes instead of drafts. So what we did here is we renamed draft, or we moved draft into a new file called quotes. However you want to look at it, but well, in essence, we just renamed it by using the mv command. So if we try now ls thesis draft.txt, we won't see it because it is no longer there. It has been named into something else, or it's gonna say it cannot be accessed. The other thing we might want to do is probably copy the file into some other file, or create a copy of the same file. So how to create a copy of the same file? We use a command called cp, which basically means copy. And then we're going to be copying, okay, I think we should move into, just a minute. Okay, we can copy thesis, the file that is in thesis called quotes.txt into another file called quotations.txt, still within the thesis folder. So we're gonna call the new copy of the original quotations, wow, quotations.txt. So when we type this and then we type LSSS, we're gonna see now we have two copies of quotes we're gonna see we have two files within it. So we have quotes and we have quotations.txt. This one is a copy of quotes. And then the other thing CP does is that it can also copy a wall folder or create a copy of a wall folder. So the flag to do, or the way to do this is we add another option called R, and R in this case means copy recursively or copy including folders and whatever is in it. So we're gonna type in CPR or CP-R with a space in between, and then type thesis. And then the new folder that we're gonna call the backup folder is thesis_backup. And then we press enter. So now when we ls, we have thesis and we have thesis backup. If we ls both of these folders, okay, if we ls both of these folders, we see in thesis we have thesis quotations.txt and thesis backup quotations.txt. Kind of, it prints for us the folder and whatever is inside the other folder and whatever is inside it. So we've created a backup folder for thesis called backup folder. Any questions so far? Okay, Gemma has a raised hand. Yes.
Yes, thank you. So I was lost there in the command where we're supposed to have a txt called draft. So in my case, so then I was not having that draft. So the only files that I have there in the writing is haiku and the little women. So I tried to create it since I was not having that one. But when I tried to create it using dir, so it's a folder was created instead of a txt file.
Yes, yes. So mk that means make directory. So you created a folder called thesis, or what is the name of the folder you created?
So it's like, no, I remember the other. So you said we must try to. I remember when you were referring to another student, so that she must list the files that are on the folder writing. So, but in my case, I only have two files. It's called Haiku and Little Women. So there is no draft there. Since I was not having draft, I tried to create it, but unfortunately, so it's a folder. It's a folder was created instead of maybe that TXT file. I'm not too sure whether it was there from the files that we downloaded or we created it. So I felt that maybe it was not there. So you created it when I
I
tried to
have
create it.
responded to you. I have responded to you. So when you do make dir, I sent this in the chat. So when you do make directory, it makes the folder. So you need to make the thesis folder, and then to make the text file, it's nanodraft.txt. So
Oh no, I'm getting that one now. Okay.
Okay, sure. So you're gonna have to make a folder called thesis and then write a txt file in it called draft. Okay. Can we move forward? Is anybody else needing some clarification? Kindly give me a thumbs up if you need us to move forward. I'm also gonna clear my terminal just to make it less clouded. Okay, so we move on. So we've created a new file called, we've renamed draft into quotes, and we've created a copy of quotes called quotations.txt, and we've also created a backup for the thesis folder called thesis backup. So in your writing directory, you should be having a folder called thesis and another one called thesis backup. And these two folders should contain exactly the same contents. Okay? Yeah, so we can use, and how we did this is that we created, I can just press an arrow up to see whatever I did. Okay. So how we got both of these files together is that we typed in CP with an option called -R, which means recursive, or do something including the folders that are within the current working directory. Then we copied thesis into thesis backup, and it created a new folder called thesis backup that has exactly the same contents as thesis. So now we can move on into another thing, and we can learn how to remove files and directory. So we can move into or we can cd into the thesis directory and then try and remove quotes. Okay, we have to make sure that quotes is within the directory. So ls shows us that we have a file called quotes, and we want to remove this file or delete it. And the command to do this is rm, and then the name of the file that you want to remove. So now when we ls quotes.txt, it tells us ls cannot access quotes because that file or directory isn't found. Please also note that when you're deleting files using rm from the command line, it doesn't give you an option or confirm that you want to delete it. So it's deleted forever. It doesn't go into the trash or the recycle bin. So you need to be very sure that you want to remove it. Okay, any questions thus far? Sure. So we want to maybe try remove a directory in itself. So I'm going to move a step up and then try and remove this. But it's going to tell me RM cannot remove thesis because it's a directory. Okay, so this, because RM works with only files. So if you want to remove the thesis as a directory, again, like we did with CP, we can specify with an option called -R, which is the same as for CP, and it means remove it recursively. Then now we type in thesis. And when we press enter, we see we don't have the same message being printed out. So when we ls within writing, we see we don't have thesis, we just have the thesis backup folder and the little women.txt and haiku women.txt. Okay.
Sorry. So when I type the RM space -R space thesis to remove the directory. It says cannot remove thesis, no such file or directory.
Okay, please type pwd to see what path you are or where you are at.
Type ls.
No, type pwd and tell me where you are at.
I am at exercise data writing thesis.
Okay, so that means that you're within the thesis directory. And the commands, unless you specify the path, the commands that you're typing in the shell work in exactly the directory you are at. So you can cd dash dot dot to move a directory up or to move into writing.
I see.
Yes, then now you can be able to remove thesis, which is within the writing directory.
Got it.
Sure. So if you ls thesis, you won't see it. Or if you just ls, you will just have the Little Women and haiku and then thesis backup. Okay. So I'm gonna first confirm what is in my writing in my exercise data. So if we have all been able to delete thesis, we can move back into the exercise data. And here we can maybe create a file. We can create a directory called backup. Okay, we all created a directory called backup within the exercise data. So what I've done here is we were initially in the writing directory. So I've moved a directory up into the exercise data. And then in the exercise data, I've created a folder called backup data. So here now we're going to be trying to copy multiple files into the backup data. And these multiple files are in another different directory. So how to copy multiple files, we can say cp, okay, we're going to be copying a few files that are within the creatures directory. We can just briefly ls into the creatures directory and see what is in there. And in the creatures directory, we see we have basilisk.dat, monitor.dat, and unicorn.dat. So we want to copy two of these creatures into the backup directory that we just created within the exercise data directory. So how to do that is we type in cp creatures and then basilisk. Just to remind you again, one of the ways to really type fast in the command line is to just type the first few letters and then press tab, and then it's going to auto-complete it for you. And then creatures, and then the other creature is unicorn. And where we're going to copy it into, we are copying it into backup. So the general syntax now, when you have more than one option or more than one argument in CP, the very last argument should be a folder. Okay. I'm gonna press enter and then we can ls backup and see whether they have been copied. And now we see in backup, we have basilisk and unicorn. If I typed, okay, let me see what is in exercise data. If I typed CP creatures, basilisk, CP creatures, unicorn, and then put in something like numbers.txt, it's not gonna be successful. It's gonna give me an error message. Target numbers is not a directory. So always when you're using CP with more than 2 arguments, the very last argument needs to be a directory. So in this case, the successful command was where we ran CP creatures basilisk.dat and then the unicorn within the creatures and then the backup, which is a folder. Are we all together? Okay. So now we can CD into the alkanes directory, and then I'm gonna introduce to you a concept for doing multiple things at a time or listing multiple things at a time. So we can CD into the alkanes folder. I'm gonna clear my terminal to make it less clouded. So in the alkanes folder, we have a number of files that, we have a number of alkane files, and we want to list anything that has PDB on it. So how to list anything that has PDB on it? We're gonna say ls, and then star. This one means any number of characters that have PDB on it. PDB. And it's gonna list for me all the files that have a PDB extension on it. Okay? If I wanna list anything that has, maybe it has a T as the second letter, or just has a T, and then in between the T, there's a number of things, and then after the T, we have AIM and then .pdb. It's gonna list for me a number of files that have E and ethane. It's gonna print for me methane, octane, and pentane. If you just wanna find, wanna find anything that has what now? That has UB in .pdb. Of course, you know it's Cubane, and we only have one letter at the beginning of it. So here we're gonna put a wildcard called question mark. Okay, that's not a command. So we have to give it a command before it. So it's gonna just print for me Cubane. So the difference between the star and the question mark, the star gives us any number of characters. But the question mark means exactly 1. So star is from 0 to any number. A question mark is just exactly 1. Are we all together? Any questions? Anybody confused that needs more explanation? Okay, I see a raised hand. You can unmute yourself.
Can you please, if you can please repeat the step where you had added the star? I did get an error, but then as I was trying to fix the error, I didn't really get the difference between the star and the question mark.
Okay, so here we moved into the alkanes folder, and we see it has a number of alkanes within it. And we want to list any number of files that have an extension called PDB. We would probably have been having something like files.txt, but we don't want to find anything that has txt on it. So we want to list any files that have .pdb on it. So the star represents 0 or more characters. So when I ls anything that has PDB on it, by anything I'm meaning star, then it's gonna print for me all the files that have an extension PDB. And then if I just wanna have, if maybe I had qben.pdb, PDB and qben, I'm not sure if these are existing things. .pdb. The only different thing here is KEH. If we had qben.pdb, it's only the first character. It doesn't have to be the first character. It could be something in between. So say for example, okay, we can just try with the first character, and we're gonna type uben.pdb. Okay. Okay, it cannot access something like that. I have no reason why.
So, sorry, I think you wrote PBD and not PD.
Oh, snap. Thank you. PDB. Yeah, so it's just gonna print for me Cuban because Cuban has exactly one character in front of it and then Cuban followed by that. If, for example, we wanted to see anything that has any number of letters followed by T and then and then what? Exactly one character that is followed by N and then dot anything. Okay, command not found else. It's gonna print for me octane because octane and pentane because they have any number of characters. Like this one has 2, this one has 3, and then after T, in between T and N, there is A, which is exactly one character, and then after A, there is PDB. So if there was no alkane that had exactly one character in between, we wouldn't have had any output. So what I mean by this is that it's a word flag for any number of characters from 0 to multiple characters, but the question mark is for exactly one character. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sure. So now we have understood the concept of wildcards. We've learned how to copy files. We've learned how to make directories. We've learned how to move or rename files or directories from an old one to a new one. We've learned how to remove or delete files. And we've also learned about wildcards. Okay, so then we're going to move on into a concept of running multiple commands at a time or within multiple commands within the same command. And this concept is called using pipes. Okay, we are still going to be working within the alkanes folder. So this researcher who owns this data might want to know how many words are in the qben.pdb file. So how to count characters or lines or words within a file, we use a command called wc, which translates to word count. Okay, we're gonna try with a file called cubane.pdb. So this command prints for us the first item is usually the number of lines, and then the second item is the number of words, and the third item is the number of characters, and then the name of the file. Okay? So if we just wanted to show us the number of lines within Cubane, then we would say wc-l, then cubane.pdb. And it's gonna give us just 20 lines. So L is for lines. If you wanted it to give us just the number of characters, then we were going to, or the number of words, we would type wc-w, and there's a space in between, cubane.pdb, and then it's gonna give us, Cubane has 156 words. And for characters, we would type wc-m, and then cubane.pdb. pdb. And then it's gonna print for us the characters and the name of the file. But now this researcher has so many files within the folder, and we need to check the number of lines in each of these files. So how do we check the number of lines in all of these files? Then we're gonna say wc-l, and then we're gonna use a wildcard to mean any number of characters, then .pdb, and then it's gonna print for us the number of lines in each of these ethanes or alkanes. Okay? But our output isn't even sorted. So we wanna try and sort this output. Or before we sort this output, we might try to save this information into a file first. So we can type wc, okay, I can just use the upward arrow to access the command, this command, and then we're gonna redirect this into a file called lengths.txt. This forward arrow is telling WC to write the information instead of printing it to standard output. It's gonna write this information into a file called lengths.txt. When we press enter, we won't get any output because this output is written into a file. Okay? So when we ls length, just to check that it's there, we see that length is in there. But we want to see what has been written into length. So how do we do that? We're gonna type in cat, which translates into concatenate. Well, it basically takes, if we had multiple files, it would print into output the information for one file and the information for a second file at the bottom of it. But because we only have one file here, it's gonna print the information of lengths.txt into standard output. And when we press enter, we see this information that was in standard output is also the same information that is within lengths.txt. Are we all following? Any questions? Any confusion?
I got lost
Yes.
there by
Okay.
where we're counting the lines for the multiple files. I got lost there. Yes, from that point, that's where I got lost. I don't know how we got to lengths.txt.
Okay, sure. So we wanted to see the number of lines within the PDBs. So we typed WC anything.pdb, and it printed for us into standard output the lengths of all the PDBs that were within this folder. But we probably had, if this person had like thousands of PDBs in this folder, printing it to standard output, she won't see everything. So she would probably want to save this information, all this information, into a file. And this file is what we've named lengths. And how to save this standard output into a file, we use an operator in Bash called, or something, or I don't know what to call it. Well, it's called an operator called the greater than sign. And this greater than sign, it pushes the output into a file, into this file. That's how we were able to, and it creates the new file and then puts the standard output information into the file. So now when we ls the file name, then we see that there is a new file name that has been created. And we also would want to see what has been put into the file. That's when we introduced a new command called cat. And what cat stands for is concatenate. Concatenate.
Sorry.
Well, concatenate in English means put things together or put them on top of each other. So if we had two files, then it would print into standard output the information of the two files. So for example, if I want to put lengths and cubane on top of each other, oh sorry, it's cut. It's gonna print for me the information for lengths and the information for cubane into my standard output. But I want to see just what is in lengths, not what is in cubane. I want to see what is in here. So that's when we typed cat lengths, and it just printed for me into standard output the information in lengths. Is it clear now, Senati?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
So I was able to see the lengths of the different alkanes.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that,
Okay.
when I'm trying to write a
Mm-hmm.
command, I'm not receiving an output. It's just looking at me.
What command are you trying to put?
Okay, I typed ls because I was confused. I did not know what to type. But then I'm not returning anything.
When you type ls, you're not getting anything.
Yes, it's just looking at me.
Okay. So did you ls with any, but ls in itself is able to list for you the items within the folder.
Okay,
So
but
you wanna exit the L. Mm-hmm.
I noticed that it's not ready for me to type in a command.
It's
It's like,
waiting for you to type in something.
no, it doesn't look like
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't know how to explain this, but it doesn't look like that.
Okay, can you press Control C and see if you exit that
Okay, yes,
situation?
yes,
Control C exits.
yes.
Okay,
So
sure.
what do I do next?
Do you have links in your folder, alkanes?
No, I just have alkanes because I was stuck.
Oh, you just have alkanes. You're in alkanes.
Yes.
Okay, so have you been able to type in WC dash L or just WC to dash WC and a file name to see whatever number of lines are in there?
Yes, I did do that.
Okay, were you able to type in WC? Were you able to type in this command and this command together?
No, I didn't reach that point.
Okay, but you were able to run this one.
Yes.
Okay, so you can type in WC and then save this information into a file using this greater than sign.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't
So
see
now,
it now.
sorry?
I can't see the command. Thank you.
Oh, okay. This command.
Okay, yes, I did type in that.
Okay, so okay, we want to see what is in the length.txt. And to do that, we used a command called cat, which means concatenate.
Yes, cat.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cat types, it prints into standard output the information of the files you've given it by placing one on top of the other. That's when now I was demonstrating with cat and cubane. And we saw that the information for length and the information for cubane was printed into standard output.
Yes.
And cats can also just take a single file, in which case it's just going to print into standard output the information for the single file you gave it.
Yes.
Okay. So now we want to know how to sort the information within this file. So we can maybe type in sort, which is the command to sort. And then we can just maybe probably type in sort lengths and see what it prints for us. It doesn't sort anything. It just gives us, I think it sorts it how now? I don't think it has sorted them because I don't see any particular order there. But to sort them based on the numbers, based on number, then we can now type in sort dash length or sort space dash n, and then it's gonna sort it from the highest to the lowest number. Okay, so the n option specifies that sort should numerically sort them, but it doesn't change the file. It just sorts the information in the file. So if we want to save the information of the sorted lengths, then we are going to use the greater than sign again. But now in this case, we're gonna save it into a new file called sort_sorted. Well, however you want to name it, as long as it tells you that it's sorted, and then sorted lengths.txt. So now when we cut whatever is sorted, .txt, we have the same output as whatever we had here. Because we've saved this information into a new file called sorted.txt. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you're where I am at. Okay, that's good. So now we want to check if probably we had a number of files. We want to check maybe the first few lines of sorted lengths.txt. And the command to do that is head. And then we want to specify how many lines we want to check the information for, or how many lines we want printed out. So the flag to do that again is n, and then the number of lines. So we're going to look at the first line of sorted dash lengths. Again, here the tab option. Okay, I want to show you for those who have not been following, I just typed in sort or so, and then I pressed tab and it auto completed for me because I know that sorted is within my folder. And then when I press enter, now I just have only the first line that is within the sorted.txt file. Okay. Yeah, so we are able to just get the information that is within the sorted.txt file. If we wanted to redirect some more information into this file, and we again use this forward slash, this not forward slash, greater than sign, it's gonna overwrite the information. So I'm gonna type in still the same command head.txt and then redirect it into sorted.txt again. And when I cut the sorted.txt, it's empty because it has been overridden. So the best way to save files without overwriting your information, if you had already created the file, is to add another greater than sign so that the information that is within the already created file is not overwritten. In this case, it's gonna append whatever you're redirecting it into the already existing information. So now when I press enter, I know that, So I know that my sorted length.txt has the information in it. And if I do it again, if I run the same command to sort the length.txt with two greater than signs into the sorted length.txt, it's gonna append the same information beneath what was already existing. So now I have this information twice, and it has not been overwritten. Any questions thus far? Are we all good? Okay. Okay. So we might wanna run the sort. We already looked at the sort command, and we also learned a new command called head, and then specifying the number of lines. So we can run both of these commands together. And to do that, I'm just gonna type in the sort -n and then length, and then the output for this information, we're gonna use this, what is it called? A vertical bar to pipe the information into head-n1. So now we have sorted the length.txt and then filtered it to just show us the first line in one command without typing this command separately and this command separately. Okay? We can also do a word count like WC-L for all the files and then pipe it to sort them without having to have first saved them into a file -n. And still we have the same output as whatever was in our sorted lengths.txt. Are we all following? Anybody needing clarification? Give me a thumbs up if you're where I am at now. Okay, sure. Thank you. So now we've learned how to combine multiple commands into one command. Okay, even on this, we can still add another command called read-n1, and then now it's gonna do the word count, sort them, and then give me just the first item in our sorted items. So taken together, all these tools have been designed to work together. So this is a very easy way of doing things while in the command line. So we're gonna move on into the next thing. Maybe try and analyze or sort this researchers' data, and we can move into the North Pacific Gaia directory and try sort out some of these things just as a short exercise. So we're gonna move into, okay, we can just cd into, sorry, ls, we're not there yet, cd ls, then we can move into the North Pacific Gaia. Okay, and then ls to see whatever is in this folder. So we want to do a word count for anything that has a .txt extension on it. And the command to do that again is ls-l and then the star and then .txt. And we see that all of them, okay, most of them have 300 words, and there is one that has, 300 lines, and there is one that has 240 lines in it. Okay. So I guess that's it for this section. We've learned how to count lines. We've learned how to display the contents using cat. We've learned how to sort them. We've learned how to display the first few lines. What we haven't learned is to display the last lines, and the command to get the last lines is tail. So we might wanna maybe see the first few lines of this output, and then we can just type it into tail and then the last line, which is total. So tail is the opposite of head. If I wanted to get the middle of this output, then I would say wc-l and then, well, the whole command for txt, and then I'd show the first 5 lines, -n, the first 5 lines, and then the tail of the first 5 lines, just to get the middle, maybe the middle of the first 5 lines, or the middle of the whole of this output, sorry. So we get into maybe 18 something. So I got the first 5 lines and then got the tail of it to just access whatever was sort of in the middle of this output. Okay, any questions? Are we all together now? I see Grace is together with me. Regima is together with us. So the rest of you, are you lost? Okay, I see more thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up if you're ready to continue. Okay. So we can move on into doing loops within the bash shell. And say, for example, okay, we can just move into a different folder. We can just briefly move into the creatures folder in the exercise data. And we want to check the first few lines. We want to check the first few lines of all these files. So we're going to check the first few lines of Basilisk, of Monitor, and of Unicorn. Oh, no. Okay. Please ensure you type in the full command. And we see that this DAT files contains nucleic acid information for a few for these animals. So we want to do this for all of this, and we're going to type in we're gonna type in a for loop within the shell. So I'm first gonna clear the terminal just so that everybody sees. So we're gonna type in for file name in Basilisk, in Minotaur, I don't know how that is pronounced, in Unicorn, and then enter. So now we see that our prompt has changed from the $ to a greater than sign, which means that Bash is waiting for us to give it a new command. And then we say do, and then enter. And then we type, we can maybe echo the file name. So now, okay, I see a raised hand, Sitoli.
I'm a bit confused. So I was able to go to
Okay,
exercise data, but then I'm a bit confused on what is next.
you are able to go into exercise data.
Yes.
So then you can cd into creatures
Okay.
and maybe ls and see that you have these 3 file names. You have this
Yes, I do
3.
have those.
Okay, so now we're gonna try and do the same thing for these files in a for loop, or we're going to try and automate a specific action or command for these file names within a for loop. So here now we are.
Sorry, before you carry on, I still have the $.
You still have?
The $.
Okay, so you need to type for file name in basilisk.dat, monitor.dat, unicorn.dat, and then you press enter.
Okay, thank you.
And then you're now gonna move into greater than sign, which means that the bash is waiting for you to give it more commands or more information. Right. So after pressing do, and then we wanna maybe see that it's going to, or the files are present. So we're gonna echo the file name. Echo is akin to printing them out, or just echo, print them out into standard output. Or yeah. So we're gonna echo the file name. And because file name is a variable or a placeholder, so when it's looping through this list of files, it's gonna assign the names of these files into a variable name called file name. So because file name is a variable name, we're gonna specify it or define it as a variable name using a $. So we're gonna echo each file name within that list. And then after typing echo file name, we're gonna do something else. And we want to check the second item within this. Okay. Senati, you're raising up your
Hi.
hand.
Yes. So
Yes.
I've been following well with you. Please just explain to me when we are creating the loops, right? So
Yes.
we put in the command for file name with the names of those files, and then we got the greater than signs. We have the do and the echo.
Yes.
I'm just not understanding the concept.
Okay, we want to do something repetitive for all these files.
Mhm.
So instead of going, okay, I can just exit this command. So initially I wanted to get the head for this, to like get the first few lines of this. I can type in head and the file names, and it's gonna print it for me in the standard output. Okay. Yeah, so I wanna, instead of it printing out for me like this, I want it to do the same thing but individually. So okay, it beside doing this, it could be I want maybe to run to do what now? To run a script for each of these, because this is nucleic acid data or whatever data, sequencing data, and I want to run maybe a script that is written for each of these files, and I want to do it. Each of these files need to be analyzed separately, so it's not the same thing as I don't know how to
I
explain
see.
it better,
No,
but I want
I do
something to be
see.
done repetitively. Yeah, so I would have typed in head basilisk, and then head monitor, head something something, but I want it to be done repetitively. So that's when now I bring in the concept of looping through these file names so that it can do something specific for those file names. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. I understand the concept of looping now. Now back to the command,
Okay.
echo
Okay.
$ file name. Why do we do the $ file name?
Okay, so what the $ means is that now that we've entered into a loop and we are calling it for every file name in this, it's gonna assign a variable called file name into each of these files. So each file, in the first instance of the loop, it's gonna pick in the file name, but because it doesn't know what file name is, we have to define for it that this file name is a variable. And to define a variable in Bash, we use a $. So whenever it sees a $ within the for loop command, it's gonna know it's for the variable name file name. And for whatever variable, for whatever name that has been assigned that variable name, wow, where it is in the loop. When it's done looping through the file, the three files, then it's gonna finish and exit.
Okay. So when we creating loops, we always type out for dash dash dash. So that's what I want to
When we
understand.
what?
When we're creating a loop, do we always type for? In this case, we said for file name in da 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 da. So let's say I don't. Yes. So for creating loops, do we always type for?
You can create a while loop. Well, there are different ways of, you can create a for loop or a while loop, depending on what you want to do. And for a while loop is mostly for when you have, if you want to say, well, the file name is greater than 10, or it depends with what you want to do. There's a while loop, there's a for loop, and within the for loop, you can introduce a statement. If that is in the name basilisk, then you can do this. If it's not there, then you can do the other thing. But yeah, that is mostly yeah, you can do it. You can make it complicated with, not complicated per se, but you can add in more things, like there are things called nested for loops. So I can do for file name in whatever, and then for for character in file name, if character equals to B, then do that. I don't know if it's
Okay.
making sense.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is. No
but for
problem.
now,
Thank
just to
you.
introduce the concept, I'm just gonna do something simple. So
Sorry, just
we're
one more
gonna,
question.
mm,
Um,
yes.
so after inputting the command below echo, the
Yes.
small arrow up C, I get an error that says bash substitution failed.
Okay, we had not finished the command. We can just finish
Oh, okay,
the command
okay.
and then we're gonna see. Yeah. So for file name, in basilisk.dat and then monitor.dat and then unicorn.dat, enter, do. Then we're gonna echo the file name. The file name. And then after echoing the file name, then we can maybe extract the second line of this file name. So dollar file name. And well, the second, we have to tail it so that we get the second line exactly as it is without having the first and the second. And then when we are finished with whatever we want to do with the file name, we say done. So now we see that after we've pressed done, after we've pressed enter after typing done, it's gonna print out the file name and its second line, the file name and the second line, the file name and the second line. Probably the second line is the classification name. It could be that we wanna get what now? Let's get something else. We wanna get the first few nucleic acids, which are in line number 1, 2, 3, 4. So, okay, when you press the upward arrow on your keyboard, you will see your command, the same for loop command, but now each of these actions have been separated by a semicolon. Okay. So now we want to extract the 1, 2, 3, the fourth line. So now we're gonna go into head using the back and forward arrow in your keyboard and then change 2 to 4. And then because we just want the exactly fourth line, we're gonna retain till to 1 and then we press enter. Oh, okay. Yes. So it's gonna print for me the basilisk, the file name and the fourth line, the file name and the fourth line, the file name and the fourth line. So now instead of having to type all these and going into this, when you use your upward and downward arrow, then it gives you the command you initially typed exactly as it was. But now each of these blocks have been separated by a semicolon, and then now you can edit it as you wish using the forward and back arrows of your keyboard. If I wanted the third line, then I edit it into that, and then it's going to give me the third line only. Any questions so far?
Sorry.
Yes.
So I was able to, okay, for file name in Basilisk and then then echo as file name. Then I pressed C. Then after that, I don't know what to do.
You pressed C.
Yes.
Okay, I think you saw what the reason why I pressed or I did Control C is because I wanted to exit the command so that I can explain to, I don't know who I was explaining to.
No,
But
not
I went
Control
on to
C.
just,
Okay.
You pressed C.
I had written in the chat that whenever I put in the command, you said I should put just a substitution failed. Then the reply was that I should try and remove that. I don't know what's the name of that error and just put C alone.
Okay, don't put C. When you're typing the command, okay, I'm just gonna take you back to where I think my terminal. Okay, this is the first line of the command. Do you have that?
Yes.
Then you pressed enter.
Yes.
Then after you pressed enter, you have this greater than sign. Then you
Yes.
typed do.
Yes.
Then you typed echo file name.
Yes.
Then
It's
you
echo
pressed enter.
$ file name.
Yeah, echo
Okay.
$ file name. Then you pressed enter.
Yes.
Then you typed another command to get the second line of the
Okay,
file
that's what
by
I don't
saying
have.
head. Okay, continue typing in head-n to $ file name pipe tail -n 1. Have you typed this?
Yes, then done.
Then enter, then done. Then after done, you
Yes.
say enter again.
It says command not found. Cannot open Bacillus data for reading.
How did you type in basilisk that? Did you say data or that?
It's DAT.
Okay. And it's spelled the correct way?
Okay, no, I can see my error. I can see my error.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll try and catch up.
Okay, sure, thanks. Okay, so we can maybe try and explain what the for loop is, but I think I've already explained that from the question we had. So, well, the word for indicates the start of a for loop command, and then the do indicates that you have to start
Rahma, we have a
or the start
question.
of the job execution. Okay. Yes, Salani.
Well, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted you to please explain how the tail command feeds into the, because we can see the
How the
impact of
tail.
the head, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna
Yes.
okay. What's going on? Okay. Let's see the information that is within the basilisk. Okay, what I've done is I've printed into standard output the information that is in basilisk. So I want to get the first few lines that are in basilisk.dat, and it prints for me the first few lines. Well, the default for head is 10. So I want to maybe get the first 5 lines. I have the first 5 lines, but I want exactly the 5th line of the first 5 lines. Or I want to get the 20th line, or I want to get the 30th line. So I want to say, I'm going to say head 5, and then because I want the 5th line, I'm going to get the tail of the head. I don't know if
Oh,
I'm
I get
making
it.
sense.
So
Yeah, I'm
it's
gonna
just
get
the
the tail
tail of
of
the
the
head.
head. Yeah, it's
All
just the
right.
tail
No,
of the
it's
head.
clear. Yes.
Yeah, or the tail of the file. It doesn't have to be the tail of the head. I can just say tail -n5 basilisk.
No, I get it. Like in this
And it's
particular
gonna
case, when you piped in the tail, it was the tail
yeah,
of the head. All right.
yes,
I got it.
exactly. Thank you. Thank you for the question. Okay, so I think now because we've understood the concept of for loops, you can just try one last thing. And here we're gonna be trying to run a script within a for loop. Okay, but this is way into the syllabus. I'm just trying to see where I can start you off. Okay. I don't want to go into the alkanes file.
Should we just do a recap or
Possible,
something
please.
then?
Yeah.
Should we maybe just do a recap for like the last 15 minutes or so? Instead of trying to get new information again in the last 15 minutes. I don't know. Just putting it out there.
I don't know. Are we all comfortable getting into new information or recapping what we've been doing?
Can you please recap?
Okay.
But also, can you please clear so that, because it's hard for us to see your command
Oh,
prompt.
okay, sure. Okay, we want to recap. Do we recap from the beginning, or you want us to recap on the loops part?
Okay. I'm not sure about the rest of us, but I was able to get the classification, so I just need a recap from that part moving forward. I don't know about everyone else.
From the classification.
Yes.
Okay, the classification of
Remember that I said head into $ file name, tail, and then I said done, and then it gave me classifications, which was Basiliscus vulgaris and Bos hominis, and so that's where I am currently.
Oh, okay. So I need to access the point where you left at, like getting the different
It's
classifications
loops.
of this.
It's loops again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were able to type in a command that was looping through each of these files and maybe getting information or getting maybe the fourth line or the fifth line using the for loop. And how I'm able to access my command, by the way, is using the upward and downward arrow so that I can edit it however I want it to be edited.
Okay.
So I was able to, well, this command is what we were seeing with the dollar sign, with the, not the dollar sign, with the greater than signs after we just typed this portion. We typed this portion and then we pressed enter and then we typed do and then we said echo file name and then head file name and then done. So when you use the upward and downward arrow to access the same command, it's going to print for you the whole of what you were typing initially, but it's going to separate the different blocks with semicolons.
Okay.
So now you can edit it into whatever you want it to be edited into. Okay. So we can do what now? I don't know how to recap from this because, well, a for loop is a for loop.
I think okay, so maybe we just go through a simple example again. So let's do the first one where we're just printing the, like, let's not add in too many extra bits. So maybe just the printing one again and just go through like, okay, what's the structure of the for loop? Why does it work the way it does? That sort of thing.
Okay, sure. So here we are trying to print or print out every file name that is in a list. So we're gonna just say for file name in the list and then it's gonna print for us. We say echo and then the file name and then done. It's gonna print out for us the file names. And because in Bash, the spaces in between the file names signify a list, if there was a space in between, so say for example, this person had named the file into Basi space list dot dat, then file name is gonna treat these two items into two things. I don't think I had touched into this. So sometimes if you think that your file names have spaces in them, like I think there was somebody who had an issue like that, then you can create you can put you can put quotation marks on the file names so that each of these is treated as a block, as one file. It's still gonna do the same. So to explain what I'm saying, I'm gonna copy basilisk into another file called still basilisk.dat, but I'm gonna introduce a space in between it. So when I ls, I know I have this basilisk that has a space in it. So when I run the same command without including the quotation marks, then it's gonna print out, it's gonna echo Basi and then Lisk as separate files. But I want
Okay.
them to be echoed as one file. So
Can I
that's
come
where
in?
yes.
So after that command that you just did, it's giving me the names. So that's why I'm
It's
confused what
giving you
that
the
means.
name.
Yes. Classification.
It's giving you the classifications of the like the
Yes.
names themselves.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because we are telling it to just echo the file names. So the
Okay.
next command that follows, is it clear? Are you saying okay so that we can move on, or
No,
is it
I'm
clear?
saying I'm following what you're saying. Yes.
Okay, sure. Because it's printing out the file names because that's what we did. We told it to do. We told it to echo the file name. And for safety, if the file names had spaces in between them, then we have to have the quotation signs so that it treats this as a full, as one name, not as separate, so that it can print basilisk
Okay.
and basilisk dat together instead of basi and lisk dat.
Okay. But on your screen, it's showing basilisk dot. But on my screen, it's saying basiliscus vulgaris.
Basilisk bulgaris.
Yes.
Okay, what is the full command that you typed in? Do you
It was for file name in basilisk.dat, minotaur.dat, unicorn.dat, and then greater sign to greater sign head dash n to dollar sign file name, tail
Oh,
dash n1, then done.
oh, okay, I see your point. It's because you, okay, here I was just echoing the file names. So what you did is you did this. Is this your output?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So in my command, I can just type it. Do I type it again? So in my command, I typed for file name and then I echoed the file name. And then I also did something else, or you also did something else. On top of echoing the file name, you also asked it to extract the second line of the file, the second line that is in the file. That's why you're seeing the classification as part of your output.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear.
So yeah, so what we mean here is that I'm just gonna type the full command again. just to make it clear. So then for file name do, then you can, as long as you have this greater than sign, you can do a number of things within it. We can say echo the file name, enter, then say get the head, the first 5 lines of the file name, enter. As long as you haven't said done, then it won't finish. It's just waiting for you to give something that needs to be done for the file names.
Okay.
Okay, you can tell it to ls file name or ls $ file name. You can still tell it to say head dash, and our head command there isn't complete, by the way. You can tell it to do head the first 5 lines of file name, and then get the tail of the head, the last line of the head. When now you feel like you've made it do enough things for the file name, then you can say done. As long as you haven't typed done, enter, it won't exit. It won't stop giving you this greater than sign. So when you say done and then enter, it does all the things that you've told it to do and exits the thingy. It exits this portion. And after it exits, that's when it prints for you. So it's gonna echo the file name as we told it to do there. It's gonna give you an error because our head command wasn't complete. And then it's gonna ls the file name. So it's gonna list the file name if it's present. And then it's gonna give you the 5th line in the file name. And then it's gonna move on into the next one. So now this is now the action for the next one until it finishes. And this is the block or the action for the next one until it finishes. If we had an extra file, it would also print out the same thing. Is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes. So now
Thank
instead
you.
of typing the whole of this continually, because this is a lot of it's a lot of typing enter, then I can access the whole of this command using the upward and downward arrow. So I can just press on my keyboard the upward arrow, and then it's gonna show me all of this information, but in one line. And the block for file name in that is separated from do with a semicolon. Then the rest of this, after do, echo file name is a command in itself, so it's separated with a semicolon from head file name, then semicolon, ls file name, semicolon, head file name, pipe tail, semicolon, and then done. So each of these commands, wherever you have a greater than sign, you have a semicolon separating it, except for do.
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
so yes. So now you can edit it into anything you want. Instead of typing everything again the way we were doing it, you can edit now this output to anything if you want. If you want the 2nd line, it's gonna print for you the classification line. If you want the 5th line or the 10th line, we've already done that. It's gonna print for you that. If you want the last 2 lines of the 10th line, you're gonna now change tail to 2 so that it prints the 2 tails of head. So now we're gonna have 2 of this.
Okay, I
Are
get
we
it
all
now.
following? Yes. Sure. Okay, I don't know what is in pages. So, okay, I'm gonna go back a few. Do we have any question? Because I think we are almost getting to the end of our bash class today. Any questions?
Hi, I have a question, sorry. So some of
Yes.
us might not be able to attend the last session on Friday. We might have a
Yes.
religious public holiday. So will the resources be made available to us just so that we don't lose out?
Uh, well, I am not sure. Usually NITEX records these things on YouTube. I'm not sure whether this particular one is going to be put on YouTube, but just in case it won't be, then we can make available to you the learning material for that day. Then you can go through it. And I don't know if Emily is open, but if she is open, then later on, if you find you have a question, then you can reach out to any of us and we will explain it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna share for you the link for all this material.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? I
Hi.
have a question. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes,
my question,
Nathaniel.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
my question is, I would love that I will be able to replicate what has been taught today, for example, on my own. Um, so,
Sorry,
We
I
can't,
can't hear
you're
you.
very
Kindly
soft.
speak
Can
up.
you increase your mic?
okay, okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
So I'm wondering that if I need to replicate what the class is today, um, do we
Mm-hmm.
have how could I do that? Because I would love to go through what has been shown today so that I can be sure that it's on my fingerprint. Um, so I'm just wondering, I don't know what the recording is like or the materials so that I can go through it today.
It won't be today. They usually put up the recordings a few days afterwards. But today is the only day for Bash, sorry, Shell. Um, so it will be the version control with Git tomorrow. So if there's any commands that I will go through all the commands that I use anyway. So you won't need like any knowledge from Shell. I will go through again when I'm doing the stuff tomorrow. So you won't like need it to be able to follow anything tomorrow.
Okay,
Does that make
thank
sense?
you. Yeah.
Okay. I think what I must do now is send you all the link to the website because it tells you how to download everything that you need depending on whether you're on Windows, Mac, Linux. Because tomorrow we're not going to be able to use things like the PowerShell at all because we're going to be doing Git. So yeah, we're going to have to make sure that all of that is ready for tomorrow. And then I will also, in the email that Tutukile sent this morning, she sent all of the links to the three major like courses that the carpentry has that we are covering. So all of the stuff that Rahim has gone through today is on the Unix shell one that she sent. And I will be covering version control with Git tomorrow and then R for the next 3 days after that. So that link will already have been sent by Tutukile to the email that she started saying that you were all participants for this event. Yes, Summer Jobe?
You were saying an email was sent this morning to us.
Yes,
I did
I
not
thought.
receive an email this morning.
It should be under the
Okay.
NITheCS Software Carpentry Workshop shall get programming with R 16 to 20 March 2026.
Okay, I have an email that I received on Friday. Not
Yes, it's
oh,
one of those. It's a reply to that email.
But
okay.
there's no email. I've also not seen an email.
Yes.
Also don't have anything my side.
Okay, then maybe she didn't send it to the ones that were BCC'd in.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I see. I committed to PSA that the recordings will be shared. So they will be put up in YouTube. I'm not sure whether it's today or some after a few days you will find them on YouTube. Okay, is that okay? Yeah. So yeah, they will share the recordings for the classes or for the lessons. Yeah, right. So
I'm getting the link now. I will. Okay. Okay, so see if you can click on that and see the information. Maybe I should share my screen to show you what I've just sent as the link.
okay, I should stop sharing.
Sorry, where was the link shared?
So I've sent the link for today's class in the Q&A and also in the group chat. So that should show you basically everything we've done today and probably with a few exercises that we weren't able to cover because of time. But we have the links for that in the group chat or we've sent you in the QA or in the group chat, wherever you're able to access it.
Are you able to access that link that I sent?
We don't see the link, Emily, but it's the link for today's class, right, Emily?
No, it's the Carpentry's website thing that we made, which has everything.
Oh, okay, sure.
So that's going to tell everyone how to set up the things that they need, which things are being covered, and links to the course material. So can everyone just try and click on this and see whether they can see this?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, so there's the general information. Go down to the schedule, you'll see our schedule, and then there's the different installation things for shell, Git, and R. So you click on which one you are, whether it's Windows, Mac, or Linux. Okay, I see we don't have links to the actual carpentry stuff, so I'm just gonna go back. Okay. Then this is the stuff we're going to be covering tomorrow. That's the Git version control with Git. The problem is that we can't send this via email because we don't have your emails. I can try and get Tutukile to send this to everyone again, but yeah, we actually don't have your emails. So you'll need to copy these now from the chat if you want to see what we're going to be covering tomorrow and how to set up. Am I making sense?
Sure.
Okay. Right. I think we need to ask, are there any questions or things before we finish the session? Okay, I don't see any hands. Thank you very much, Rahima, for teaching today. It was very good. And thank you everyone for trying to stay with us. I know it was not super organized with like the Q&A and the chat. Sorry, I was getting a bit lost with all the different threads going on. So I'm also going to talk to Tukile and see whether we can get the Q&A working for us as instructors, so it might be a bit easier for you guys to ask questions from us. Yeah, am I missing anything? By the way, I'll be teaching you guys for the next 4 days. So it will be Git tomorrow and then R for the next 3 days.
Sorry, may I ask
Okay.
a question?
Yeah.
To ask?
Yeah.
So I've installed it. I'm using a Windows PC. I struggled to get it to work on my Ubuntu. Do we need to
Yes.
download any specific libraries in advance or just the programs? And is
I
that
think
sufficient?
based on how long we have, I feel like we're not going to get to like super complicated like packages. I think the only one that we might get to is the NITR package. So KNITR. That might be the one. But again, that definitely won't be on the first day. So I can like let you guys know based on our pace when you might have to try and download something. But basic, as long as you have RStudio, you really should be fine.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Sure.
So thank you guys for attending our workshop. See you tomorrow.
Yes. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.